accused of cheating. My relationship fell apart. Overnight. I don't know where to begin. I thought everything was fine. I mean, me and my partner had been together for years, no major issues, just the usual arguments about dumb stuff, like where to go for dinner or what movie to watch. We lived together, shared bills, planned vacations. You know, normal couple stuff. I really thought we were solid. Then one night, out of nowhere, they hit me with it. "You've been cheating on me, haven't you?" I just blinked. "What?" "You've been sneaking around, I know it." I swear, I felt like someone had pulled the floor out from under me. Cheating? Me? I'm not that person. Never have been. "Where is this coming from?" I asked. "Why would you even think that?" Their face was stone cold, no emotion. "I've been hearing things." Hearing things from who? I was starting to get pissed now because, seriously, where the hell was this even coming from? I've been busting my ass, working long hours, trying to make everything perfect, and now this. What? Because I didn't come home for dinner once or twice? I'm not cheating, okay? You need to tell me where you're getting this idea from. They just looked at me like I was scum. I was dumbfounded. It wasn't like I'd been out late partying or coming home smelling like perfume. Hell, the most scandalous thing I'd done that week was go to the grocery store without the list they gave me. But no, they wouldn't hear it. Nothing I said mattered. In their head, I was guilty. Case closed. The next few days were a nightmare. Every time I tried to talk, to explain myself, they'd cut me off. "You're lying," they'd say. "Just admit it. You're cheating." Every single day, the same conversation. I was starting to lose my mind. How do you even defend yourself when the person you love refuses to believe a word you say? I asked them if someone had told them something, like, did they hear a rumor? They just shrugged. "I don't need to hear anything. I see it in your eyes." I laughed. I actually laughed, and not because it was funny. It was the most insane thing I'd ever heard. "In my eyes?" I said. "Are you serious?" Wrong move. They blew up. I don't even remember everything they said, just bits and pieces. Something about being so obvious, always working late, never paying attention, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know how to fix it. My words didn't matter. My actions didn't matter. They were convinced I was the bad guy, and nothing was going to change that. I tried getting some space, staying with a friend for a night. Bad idea. When I came back, they were even more furious. "See, I knew it!" they screamed at me the moment I walked through the door. "You were with them, weren't you?" "Who the fuck is them?" I shouted back. "I was sleeping on my buddy's couch because I couldn't take your accusations anymore." That's exactly what a cheater would say. I was spiraling. Every conversation turned into a shouting match. They would cry, then scream, then go silent. The silence was the worst. It felt like I was living with a stranger. No, not even a stranger. It felt like I was living with someone who hated me. It didn't stop there. Somehow, some of our friends got wind of the situation. Now this part pissed me off the most. I went out for drinks one night with some buddies, just trying to get my head straight. I needed to talk to someone who wasn't involved, you know? One of them pulls me aside and says, "Hey man, so we heard you've been messing around. Is that true?" I stared at him like he'd grown a second head. "What? Who the hell told you that?" He just shrugged. "It's going around, man. You might want to clear things up with your partner. Word is they're saying you've been stepping out." I swear my blood boiled. That's bullshit, and you know it. I've been faithful the whole time. "Yeah, I know," he said, looking awkward as hell. "But people are talking, you know? You gotta handle this before it gets worse." I felt like I was on some goddamn reality show. How the fuck did my personal life become gossip material for people I barely knew? I was raging, but I couldn't show it. Just nodded and downed my beer, pretending like it didn't hurt as much as it did. The next day, I tried to confront my partner again, but it was useless. I was already guilty in their eyes, and now the whole town knew it. One night, after another fight that left us both drained and speechless, I decided to take a long walk. I needed to clear my head, figure out what the hell was happening to my life. I couldn't stay in that house with them anymore. It was like living with a ticking time bomb. When I came back, they were sitting at the kitchen table, staring at their hands. I thought maybe, just maybe, they were ready to listen. So I sat down across from them, tried one more time to explain everything, to beg them to see reason. "I've never cheated," I said, for what felt like the millionth time. "I love you. I've always loved you. I don't know where you got this idea, but it's not true." They didn't say anything for a long time. Then finally, they looked up at me and said the last thing I ever expected to hear. "I'm the one who cheated." I swear, I felt my stomach drop. I couldn't even process it at first. "What?" I asked, feeling like my brain was moving through quicksand. "I'm the one who cheated," they repeated, and I could see the tears welling up in their eyes. "I've been accusing you because I couldn't handle the guilt." My head spun. I'd been through weeks, months of hell because of their guilt. My life was falling apart, and it wasn't even my fault. I felt like a fool. No, I felt like a fucking idiot. "You've got to be kidding me," I said. "All this time, and you're the one who fucked up?" "I didn't mean to." "Don't you dare say you didn't mean to," I screamed, slamming my hands down on the table. "You accused me, turned our friends against me, made me feel like garbage, and now you're telling me it's your fault the whole time?" I stormed out before I did something I'd regret. That was it for me. I wasn't sticking around to play house with someone who could do this. I needed out. I needed a clean break. Part 5. The End. The next morning, I packed my things. I didn't say much, just told them I was done. I wasn't staying in a relationship that was built on lies and betrayal. I couldn't look at them without feeling sick to my stomach. They cried, of course, tried to beg me to stay. "I made a mistake," they said. "It was one time. It didn't mean anything." But that wasn't the point. It wasn't about the mistake. It was about the months of accusations, the way they'd made me feel worthless, like everything I'd ever done wasn't enough. They'd let me twist in the wind while they played the victim, and I was done being part of that story. I left that day and didn't look back. Update. So, it's been a couple of months since I walked out. Honestly, I'm still a mess. I thought leaving would feel like a weight lifting off my shoulders, but instead, it's like I'm dragging the shit with me everywhere I go. I keep thinking about everything that happened, replaying all those conversations in my head, and it just eats at me. I'm staying with my parents now. It's not ideal, but it's better than being in that house. My partner's tried to reach out a few times. Texts, letters, even showed up at my mom's once. But I don't respond. I can't. There's nothing left to say. They made their choice when they decided to accuse me instead of coming clean. People ask me if I miss them. Sometimes I do. I miss the person I thought they were, the life we had before everything went to shit. But I don't miss the lies, the accusations. I found out recently that they've moved on. Started seeing someone new, apparently. One of our mutual friends told me, though I didn't ask. I'm not surprised, honestly. Part of me figured that was coming sooner or later. It stings a little, yeah. I mean, I gave years of my life to this person, and now they're just moving on like it never happened. But maybe that's for the best. Maybe it's what I needed to finally close this chapter. I'm trying to focus on myself now. It's hard, but I'm getting there. One day at a time, right?